Supercross's brightest stars have first found success in the lights class. Tonight in Houston, Texas, a new breed of hopeful young riders begin their quest for racing greatness. Round one of Supercross Lights East Coast Racing gets underway right now on television's fastest network. In Houston, Texas is the first stop for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Lights East Coast season. Hi everybody, Ralph Shaheen alongside Speed's only Supercross Series champion on our staff, Jeff Emick. They're blowing up lots of pyro. We're getting ready to go racing for the opening round of the East Coast season. And Jeff, as we said at Anaheim 1 for the West Coast guys, round one is a statement round.
Oh, it definitely is. And for the riders here on the East Coast, we've got some veterans that it is time for them to win the championship before they move up. But we also have some rookies and even a couple of sophomores that are really dominating. The group of riders today in qualifying practice were very closely matched in their lap time. So I don't know who it's going to be, but it's very exciting.
Well, let's show you how close they were. Here's a look at the top 5 lap times out of practice today. Austin Stroop was the quickest with a 51.6, but Jeff only about 0.6 of a second separating first to fifth.
Yeah, and just behind 5th through 10th is very close also. Brett Metcalf, one of the veterans, he was just outside of the top 5, but he definitely is a favorite to win the main event.
Well, before we get set to drop the gate on the first round for the East Coast guys, let's head down to the floor of the stadium for a Progressive pre-race report from Aaron Bates.
Well, tonight marks the kickoff for the East Coast Lights riders, and it is a brand new set of goals and expectations for the season. Tons of adrenaline, tons of nervousness are going on, and a lot of new goals have been set. I caught up with a couple of riders earlier this afternoon to find out what their expectations are for the 2009 season. Here's what they had to say.
My expectations for this season will be to win the championship. You know, that's the main thing. But you know, that comes with consistency and good results. After this race, we got almost a month off, so just got to get through this weekend, get a good result, and work on some stuff.
This weekend, just to have fun and you know, learn how the speed is, and you know, it's been a while, so just looking forward to it. And my family's here, and we're just here to have a good night and hopefully be on the podium and just get the ball rolling for Atlanta and just be in contention for the title.
Try and be on the podium every race, be consistent, and the overall goal is to win a championship. So hopefully everything goes well and we can do that.
Just ride as good as possible and be on the podium, top 5 consistently, and wherever that gets me, that gets me. Stay off the ground.
Well, now these East Coast guys have had a few weeks to wait, a little longer than the West Coast guys. How tough is that on them?
Well, as you could hear in the riders' soundbite, they're all kind of calm, cool, and collected. But I'm telling you, these guys have been chomping at the bit. They have been working during the offseason, lap after lap. Now, the guys on the West Coast, they've already gone to work. Guys have already been victorious. The guys on the East have had to watch and wait. But now, tonight here in Houston, this is their time to go out and win.
Well, we're just about done blowing up all the pyro, which means all we have to do is get ready to go racing. Stick with us. The East Coast Lights are ready to kick off their season from Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas. Right up. Fans inside Reliant Stadium. This is the home of the National Football League's Houston Texans. Beautiful venue.
Yeah, and you know these fans are excited. They've seen all the exciting races that we've had on speed here from the West Coast, and they are ready for this East Coast to start.
Here's a look at the 411 usual routine. 2 heats, top 9 to the main, a last chance qualifier, giving us our final 2 riders for our 20-rider 15-lap main. And this is the first time this has been an East Coast round, Jeff. Usually this has been a West Coast stop. You take a look at our Honda starting lineup going across the top of the screen. And Purcell is one of those guys, Jeff, that we're really looking forward to seeing. Christoph Purcell won in Phoenix a few years back.
A couple years ago,
disappeared, got hurt, went through a lot of injuries. It's going to be interesting. And there's Will Hahn on the 50. Getting set to go racing. Here we go.
Tight first turn. This thing really snakes around.
Purcell got the whole shot on the 377. but he's not going to hold the lead. That's going to shift. It's to the 96, Tyler Wharton.
Tyler Wharton, one of the Texas riders, along with his brother Blake Wharton here.
Tyler, the older of the two, and no offense to Tyler, but I think a lot of people are really more interested in seeing Blake Wharton out here, and Tyler's stealing some of the limelight right away.
Well, you know, they both practice together. They spend a lot of time together. Who's that sneaking by on the inside?
Brett Metcalf on the 24 on the big red Honda.
Metcalf, the veteran, he says it's time for him to win this championship.
A lot of pressure on him to perform, isn't there?
Definitely is. Has made the switch now. Was on Pro Circuit Kawasaki before. Now he's on the factory connection. Geico Power Sports Honda. Really pumped up for this championship. But how about the Texas rider, Tyler Wharton out front? This is that first turn area. Look how tight this is going to be.
Oh, look at that.
Metcalf to the inside.
Different line there.
Can he triple?
Apparently not.
Well, and keep in mind, Rob, looking at the track here, the track workers have gone out and smoothed the track out, right? It looks all nice, but it's really loose underneath.
Oh, boy. Wharton got all out of shape to that section, Jeff, and that's going to give the advantage to Metcalf. And here comes Purcell on the Kawasaki. Look how he's closing in.
And you can see what an advantage it is to scoot off from tabletop to tabletop to tabletop, whereas Wharton is jumping over the first one and jumping the next one. So what I was saying about the track, you see all the lines in it? The track is perfectly smooth and groomed, but it's a little bit loose on top. Okay, so right now, the track is fresh, but it's very loose, so it's not going to have, this isn't going to be the fastest lap times, right? There's no berms or ruts or anything built into it yet.
Now, Nico Izzi is another name everybody's been looking forward to watching. That's him on the number 20, the yellow bike. On that Rockstar Makita Suzuki factory entry. He go very fast in the outdoors, and a lot of people thinking this would be a great season for him, his first in the Supercross Lights class, as he's looking to make another move here on the 321 award. Now remember, the names in green scrolling across the top of the screen, those are the riders that hold transfer positions. Those in red don't, and you see Izzy picking off another spot.
And also there, that was Durham.
Back to the battle for the lead.
Durham and Ward missed the triple.
24 still out in front. Brett Metcalf, Purcell closing in as they go into that very slow, almost one line to at least the first corner. There's a couple options here on the right-hander.
Yeah, and you can see now in the second qualifying practice, they were using a different line. Now that they've worked the track and it's kind of loose and everything is cleaned up, they've gone to that outside. But you can see all the riders are really sweeping around. And this Dragon's back here is tough. Oh, Purcell gets stuck. See, no, look at the time here.
Crushed it.
Look how far behind he fell.
Just crushed it. Jeff, it's been almost 2 years since we've really seen Christophe Purcell racing over here.
And it's been a huge disappointment for the fans.
Here's Izzy fighting his way through. Gerke right now has the final transfer spot. This fight here is with the 153 machine. Or the 159, I should say, Darren Durham.
Darren Durham absolutely flying in practice here today. Now he's mixing it up. You see he held a a tough line there on the outside. Oh, now he makes a mistake there. Allows Nico Izzi to move on by. And I'm telling you, there has to be a lot of pressure on Nico Izzi this year. Second year as a professional. He's on this Rockstar Makita Suzuki team that's just loaded with superstars. Got Michael Byrne, Michael Lessie, Chad Reed, the reigning Supercross champion.
He's got Wharton. That'll give him another spot.
And of course his counterpart on the West Coast.
So we go back up to the front here, taking a look at the 24, our race leader Metcalf. So this is the final lap, and Metcalf just working his way around, and Purcell sitting solidly in second. Remember, the top 9 transfer. Well, if Metcalf wanted to come out, Jeff, as we said at the beginning of the show, and make a statement, he's doing a nice job of it here in this first heat race.
He definitely is, but look at Purcell. He is really starting to wick it up here.
See if he can make a run at him on this final lap. Just a corner to go. Purcell taking a look, setting himself up for a run to the inside. Just couldn't get there. And Metcalf is going to beat him to the line and take the win in heat number 1. Purcell's going to have to settle for second. There's a look at the big monster leaderboard in the center of the stadium, and it tells you pretty much this here, that everybody from Brett Metcalf to Chad Ward's going on in the main, and Phil Nicoletti is going to lead the rest of the pack on over to the last chance qualifier. Well, there was a pretty good battle for the lead in that heat race. Let's show you this. They swapped the position briefly.
Yeah,
Metcalf out front, but watch Purcell here.
Yeah, Metcalf makes a mistake on those tabletops. Purcell gets by the inside, but see, he's looking back. That allowed Metcalf to sneak back through, and if a rider's looking back, he's not focused on what's ahead of him, right?
Well, we're focused on heading down to that podium, and Aaron.
Brett Metcalf starts the season off on the right foot. Brett, a battle back and forth between you and the 377. The guy that replaced your old ride, is tonight about something to prove?
No, definitely not. You know, just here to have fun tonight and race 15 laps as hard as I can for my new team, Geico Power Sports Honda, man, and started off with a heat race win and got to get a little better start in the main, and track was awesome, though. Thank you.
Brett Metcalf said he was going to come out swinging with aggression. He means business tonight.
Well, he sure does, Aaron. We talk about making a statement, and Metcalf has done that here in Heat 1. We'll get a look at Austin Stroop when we come back. This Tuesday, Superbikes is all new. From the streets of Sturgis to the highways of Northern California. Whether they're racing, riding, or stunning, it's sport bikes like you've never seen them. Get into Superbikes with host Jason Britton, Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on Speed. Back for heat number 2 here inside Reliant Stadium. We're right next door to the Astrodome here in Houston, Texas.
I'm telling you, we got to get on one of them rides with Britton, huh? Wouldn't that be a blast?
It'd be fun.
He's crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure Jason's watching. Well, you know, here's a little interesting note about Supercross Lights competition. Did you know that in the history of this sport, no rider from the state of Texas has ever won a Supercross Lights main event in the East?
Yeah, Matt Lemoyne's from Texas, Blake, Tyler Wharton, Hunter Hewitt. We actually have Will Hahn in here. He's actually a transplant from up in Kansas, my home state. But Will or Tommy haven't won. So
here we go, heat 2.
Oh, big crash the first
turn. 2, 3 bikes, 4 bikes, 5 bikes down. One of those riders is the 126, Hunter Hewitt, while Austin Stroop pulled off the whole shot. There he is, right there, the 981.
All right, look out here. Austin Stroop is our fastest qualifier. We also have right there behind him, that's Lemoyne. He has been flying all day, so I think the track right now is going to be broken in from that first heat. Going to look for some really fast lap times.
Lemoyne on that Star Racing Yamaha, the blue 41, chasing Stroop on that Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
Martin Davalos, the Muscle Milk KTM, he's sitting back in third. He has been very impressive today in qualifying, and you can just see all the energy that's in these guys. They've been watching the West Coast guys out there racing, mixing it up. Now it's their chance to finally go to work.
Well, you see Lemoyne taking a different line, coming out of that right-hander, and that might make the difference. He gets to the corner first, drag race out of it. They're bar to bar as they go into the rhythm section. Now they're going to swap back to the inside. Goes Stroop through the whoops. Nobody has laid claim to the spot yet. They get close to banging bars as they get into the next corner. Stroop now has control of the position.
Lemoyne to the inside. He has to seatbounce the triple.
Oh boy, he went way up in the air. Did not carry enough momentum through there, and that's going to allow Martin to close in and now challenge for second.
I tell you, Ralph, I've seen some of the top Supercross riders today hit that triple from the inside, but I have not seen a Lights rider attempt that, which we looked at that triple when we walked the track. We said, this one looks longer than 72 feet.
And I'm not so sure he would try it again.
Yeah.
Once
he's
might have been enough.
Fortunate that he's still in second, yeah. Well, that's going to allow Stroop a little bit of breathing room. Oh, he comes up short again.
Another mistake.
This is when the heart rate really starts to max out here.
But now he's got to settle down, Jeff. He's got to settle down, regroup, see if he can get some momentum going and close back in. The one thing he doesn't want to do is lose second to Martin behind him.
And just behind them, Blake Wharton. He's another rookie that was so impressive last year when he debuted in the Motocross Championship last summer. A lot of expectations.
And he was very fast.
Yeah, he's very fast. He's been a little bit nervous looking today, but right now Wharton sets him fourth. He's at 52.4. Stroop's at 51 right now, so.
Well, you know, you talk as we watch Martine. We're going to go back here to Wharton, who's running in fourth. And Jeff, you talked about when he made his debut in the outdoors in the motocross championship this past summer. How different was it for you when you debuted your motocross racing as opposed to when you debuted in supercross racing? Was one more nerve-wracking than the other?
Well, keep in mind, as amateurs, we grow up racing motocross, okay? Supercross is a very specific part of what we do here. And so for these riders, now to be inside of this stadium here with the fans, they just feel like they're right on top of you. I mean, you can literally see the fans. Like when you hit that triple, it's like you can see them cheering for you and waving, all that. So it's a totally different experience, and it's really tough on the nerves. You know, it's tough to keep your heart rate down, to remember to breathe, to not hold on as tight.
All right, Lemoyne has gathered up his thoughts and his momentum, and he has closed back up on Austin Stroop. Stroop on the 981. He has led since the gate dropped here in heat number 2. Lemoyne had closed in and challenged, came up real short on a huge jump, and now is closed back to make another run at it.
And I'm telling you, Ralph, it is apparent that Matt Lemoyne has done some serious training over the offseason. I'm telling you, from the first lap of qualifying practice today, I've been very impressed with this young man. He's looked comfortable. He has been on the attack. He wasn't out there kind of searching for lines doing this. He has just been hammering it out all day long. You can tell by the aggression and how he's riding here tonight.
A lot more aggression. Definitely. White flag is out. He's going to have one more shot at him. He'll take a new tear off, and he'll settle down and see if he can gun him down.
And remember, this is the section of the track that Lemoyne was a little quicker last time around. We'll see if he can pick something up here, close up a couple bike links on Stroop. But Stroop really has been dialed in. You can tell he's done a lot of work in the offseason, having to battle a little injury, too, that gave him a little setback, but it seems like he's ready.
Looks like he actually lost a little ground through there, Jeff.
Oh, he's a little shaky right there, too, yeah.
Oh, ooh, boy, I thought he was going to come up way short there. At this point, it's just get it home, take that second place, and move on to a decent gate pick for the main event. And gate pick is going to be crucial here today.
It is, because it's a short shot. Oh, it's a big mistake by Stroop.
All out of whack. Checker flag awaits him, though. Couple more jumps. There it is. He'll take a win here at the first round of the East Coast Championship. Now the fight for third. Davalos and Wharton to the checkers. Davalos is going to beat the closing Blake Wharton as he takes fourth. Well, here's the top 9 coming out of heat 2. Stroop, Lemoyne, Davalos, and Wharton. They all look very fast. Stephen Clark, he's going to go to the LCQ. We're going to go to the victory podium. Here's Aaron.
Well, Austin Stroop said earlier this afternoon he was filled with nervousness, but obviously you've shaken off those nerves. Austin, there was a part of the track that Matt Lemoyne, he got you through the whoop section, but then you blocked him. Take us through it.
Yeah, I was riding so tense out there. I was so nervous still, but you know, when the crowd gets out here, I got so nervous. But I rode a smart race. You know, I was a little tense, but kind of gapped him a little bit at the end, but then I made a big mistake. So just look forward to the main, and hopefully it'll be good.
Austin Stroop celebrates his first heat race win of the season. Confidence is soaring into the main event.
It sure is. Now you can go back, calm those nerves down a little bit, relax, watch the videotape, get ready for the main event. We got some last chance qualifier action for you as we come back to Reliant after this. Last chance qualifier, final 2 spots. The Supercross Lights East Coast main event. The Honda starting grid showing you the names that are in this one. Stephen Clark, 77. We both kind of thought maybe he would transfer straight through. He's running pretty good today.
Yeah, Scuba Steve's been on the gas here, but just missed qualifying. I'm telling you, if I'm on that gate, I am focused on this start, because typically the LCQ final qualifying spots, it's really ugly in the first turn.
Yeah, and you can't afford to lose much time there with a short race. Well, one guy off hard. Joe Nicoletti's going to get the whole shot, and then they pack up in that right-hander. Fred Carl. Looks like Nicholas Jackson might have been one of the riders that went off the track. There's Carl out front of the 5.52.
That's exactly what Carl needed here out of this start. Get out here, let's see if he can run a good lap time. This is a short race. You have to let it all hang out here if you want to be lined up in the main event.
And that's Hillbarger on the 412.
Yeah, Hillbarger up there with another great start.
Let's show you how Nick Jackson slung out the track here. Watch the top side of the screen.
Yeah, watch just off here. He just goes sliding off. And there's a real sharp, this area right here, you see they put a monster pad on there because that's got a big steel beam right there. Luckily, he laid it down before he got into that.
Carl and Hillbarger the top two. Clark sits in third, and Hewitt is back in fourth. Remember, the names in green have the transfer spot, so Clark is one spot out of it.
Hunter Hewitt, rider out of Texas, who qualified inside the top 10.
Oh, look at this move. Here comes Clark up the
he
inside
clips him.
to take the position. That'll give him a transfer spot.
And where's Hillbarger? He's down. Hunter Hewitt, 126 on the Cowie. He's working it. He knows that only 2 riders go to the main event. In the past, lights competition has been 4 riders go to the main. This year, they've switched it up, so now the pressure is on here for the same as the Supercross. 2 riders go. Right now, Clark has that final qualifying position. Hewitt really making a run here. And let's see if Carl can hold on to it.
See Carl and Clark battling. Final couple of positions.
See, the lights riders really have to go wide and stretch it out to try to make that. Clark's got the lead.
And Carl sitting right behind him with Hewitt giving chase.
Well, and you got to think that Hewitt's going to pick him up here. Hewitt's really been on the gas. There's the white flag. 1 to go. Clark's in, along with Carl.
Boy, just watching Hewitt trying to pig his way through this very slow section.
And it's the second half of the track where Hunter Hewitt has really been able to make up some ground on Carl, but can he hold on half a lap, and he's going to be in the first main event of the year.
Clark, as we said, Jeff, we expected him to transfer right through the heat race. And now you can see why he's running very well here in this last chance qualifier. Here comes Hewitt up the inside. Got him. Oh, and then Carl bobbles coming out of the corner.
And Hewitt misses the triple, but it didn't matter because he pushed Carl just wide enough to take that position and block his momentum. Hewitt's going to the main.
And now Nicoletti is kind of closing in as well. Checkered flag waves. Clark takes the win. Hewitt takes second. That's all that matters. Those 2 riders going on to our main event, which we'll have for you here on Speed when we come back for the first East Coast Main of the Year. Speed. There you see Nico Izzy on the number 20 Suzuki, the Rockstar Makita backed entry. He's the star of our VIP Pit Pass this week.
I'm Nico Izzy, I'm number 20, I ride for Rockstar Makita Suzuki. If I had a stage name, that would have to be Axel. If I was an actor, I'd probably go with Jim Carrey. A talent I wish I had, probably be a superhero so I could be invincible. Yeah, actually I have quite a few embarrassing moments. None lately, but back in the day, when I was amateur, I looped out off the start. That was pretty embarrassing, so. One thing I wish I could eat would have to be my mama's homemade spaghetti. One thing that people misunderstand about me is, that I'm a humble person. We're not the cocky little kids that walk around here thinking that we're bad people. We're just, we love to ride dirt bikes, and we get a chance to do it in front of 60,000 people. No, I don't have any bad habits. Not that I know of. Might have to ask some of my family, though. These questions, you're killing me. My New Year's resolution is to just kind of, be a good person and hopefully, go weekend by weekend and hopefully be in the championship hunt for Supercross and Motocross. I'm Nico Izzy, and that was your VIP Pit Pass.
A lot of great Supercross racing coming up as we get set to crisscross around the country. Here's our Toyota moving forward schedule. If you want to see any of these live, go to www.supercrossonline.com. Get your tickets. Come join us at the venue. Of course, you can see all the Supercross lights races on speed. There's the board for the main event, so let's get a progressive pre-race report from Aaron.
The number 41 of Matt Lemoyne is fired up, to say the least, not only because he just received second in his heat race, but he's racing in front of his home state this weekend. He's crediting due to the fact hiring Ryan Hughes as a new trainer just 3 months ago, and the most valuable lesson that he has learned is to believe in himself. He said tonight is all about confidence. His goal is to make it up onto the podium. The start's exactly what he needs, and he said he just wants to get a good start and ride his own race.
Jeff, Ryan Hughes, one of the best trainers in the business.
Well, it certainly explains why Matt Lemoyne has been riding like an animal tonight. He is physically fit and ready to win here tonight in Houston, round 1.
Now you see everybody in the gate, and we talked at the beginning of the night, this is a statement race. Some of those guys made statements in the heat, but there's no bigger statement than winning the first main of the year.
Well, definitely Austin Strooper, 981. Can he do it?
And it's Purcell.
Purcell with the hole shot to Bridgman. He takes Izzy high.
And he hangs on. And he hangs on for it, too. Oh, boy, tight pack in here. Watching Darren Durham on the 159 come flying in. He's going to move himself up into second on the 159. There's Nico Izzy in yellow. And the 24 is Metcalf, who comes inside, and Izzy jumps right by him. Metcalf really struggled through that section.
Oh, they get together.
That's Austin Stroop that knocks him off the track as we come flying through this rhythm section. Metcalf looking pretty solid now, just in front of the 719 of Vince Freeze.
Stroop and Durham got together. Both riders had excellent starts. Now they're both way back in the pack. Let's take a look at the replay here. Watch. 159 there. Durham. Stroop gets together. Durham goes off, drops it. Stroop goes off on that slippery concrete. See right here. Stroop just comes in and tries to get to the outside so he can jump the triple. Durham trying to duck to the inside. Right there, and both riders come together, and that just leaves the door wide open here for Christophe Purcell, who we have not seen in months. We have not seen him in
years, really.
Over a full season in Supercross Lights, and he's out front leading. What a way to start.
Went to Phoenix, took the win there, went to Anaheim too, got hurt. That was the last time we saw him, and that was back in 2006. At a Supercross race.
Yeah, exactly. 2007, right?
2007, I should say.
Yeah. Well, what a start here. The 719.
Vince Freeze.
Vince Freeze is on it. Running up front, just in front of Wharton.
Blake Wharton having a pretty good run here. These guys battling over 4th position right now. Nobody touching Purcell.
Remember, both the Wharton brothers from Texas, they're in this main event. You're looking at 60. Whoa! Freeze takes a bit of a wild ride, but they know how to ride things like that down here in Texas, right? Yeah, that was like a bucking bronco, some sort of steer that he wrestled back in. He gave up the position.
He gives it up to Wharton on the 61. He gets by, and then look at Freeze come running right back. Well, this is going to be a good battle between Wharton and Freeze as they continue to fight over 4th position. And Austin Stroop, Jeff, has gotten back on the track.
Whoa!
This fight continues. Freeze inside, takes the spot away, and Stroop now joins the battle in the green Kawasaki.
Let's see if Stroop can triple through here. Ward back to the inside.
That seems to be a pretty good line for him. They take the triple, and Stroop gets into it with Freeze, and that opens the door for Wharton.
What a
Stroop
move.
gets through there quicker, and he's going to take the spot away. He's got 4th.
Stroop is absolutely on fire. He has hit just about every rider out there except for his teammate. On his way, just muscled his way through.
Well, he hasn't gotten to Purcell yet, so we don't know. That might still be to come.
Hey, he's been on the gas. I'm telling you, he was a little bit quicker than Purcell all day long. So we'll see. There's only Nico Izzy on the Suzuki is in between. Well, actually, Metcalf
That's
Ready
these two here. Izzy in yellow, Metcalf in red on the Honda. That is second and third, and they're all chasing Purcell.
And at the stripe last time around, Struve was close to 10 seconds behind Purcell, who's out front in the lead.
Francis Michael Pichon was the first non-American rider to win the Eastern Regional Lights Championship. There's been 4 other non-American racers who have won the East Coast Championship. Ernesto Fonseca from Costa Rica, Stefan Ricotta also from France, and Chad Reed and Ben Townley. Reed, of course, from Australia, Townley from New Zealand.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is exactly how Purcell needed to start off. And this battle for second between Izzy on the yellow Suzuki here, Brett Metcalf on the new ride this year, riding a Geico Power Sports Honda.
And there is Purcell. And Jeff, we know he knows how to win a championship. Former Motocross 2 champion, which is the outdoor championship for a lights class, if you will, in Europe.
Yeah, in the World Championship. Yep. So that's just an incredible credit that he has to his resume. And man, isn't it great to see him back here? But Izzy and Metcalf are starting to close it up. They're going to apply the pressure here to Purcell.
Working the adrenaline out, too. There's a lot of that going on with these riders. And the heat races, that was a big part of it. Everybody talking about how they were just maybe a little too wound up. You get to the main, all that starts to float out. Now you're really able to settle down and focus on the job at hand.
Well, I do think that these riders were very anxious. We've seen a lot of aggressive riding. We've seen a lot of small mistakes out of these riders as they were really pressing hard to get those fastest lap times in qualifying and the best, qualifying position out of the heats. But now, Izzy makes a mistake. He misses the triple.
Oh, and that's going to make a huge difference as Metcalf comes flying by literally to take the spot away and moves his Honda now into second place.
I tell you what's going to happen. Nico Izzy, that's his heart rate's going to go up. He knows he just made a mistake and let second place go. Can he retaliate? Can he put the pressure on the veteran Metcalf, who's riding just a fantastic race here? The main event is we're more than halfway through this 15 laps.
See what happened to Izzy here.
Well, now the corner here, Izzy going on off the tabletop. For the lights riders to get in here, he gets a little wide and just cannot get a good drive for the triple. See the second look here. He goes way off to the right. Izzy knows that if you don't make the triple, you really need to get out of the way. So he was right along the tough block, made it nice and easy for Metcalf.
Purcell, meanwhile, out front. The French rider trying to settle in and see if he can win himself a championship here in the States. Can he get the first win of the year? Stay with us to find out on the Home of the Lights here on Speed. The opening round of the Supercross Lights East Coast Championship for 2009. Ralph Sheen and Jeff Emming with you as we're working our way through the main event here at Reliance Stadium in Houston, Texas.
What a phenomenal ride here just to start the series. Can't stress enough how nice it is to have Purcell back. And he absolutely disappeared from the radar. Suffered some really horrendous injuries. Wasn't sure if he would even be able to race Supercross ever again. And then slowly and quietly came back in, and Mitch Payton from Pro Circuit gave him the opportunity, and he's making the most of it.
Well, Aaron, there was a time when there was some question as to what the quality of life would be like for Christophe Purcell, let alone if he would be racing.
That's absolutely right, Ralph. In fact, it's been a year and a half since Purcell has actually even been back racing. He paralyzed himself and he was in a wheelchair for 8 months. He said it gave him plenty of time to sit home and work on the English language.
Well, he's going to maybe need a lot of that because he's going to be doing possibly a lot of acceptance speeches for big trophies at the end of the night.
Yeah, just, Aaron, I can't stress enough there about sitting at home and you think about, you get to reevaluate your life. Oh, speaking of, we need to reevaluate the race for the lead here because Brett Metcalf totally on the gas. He's up into second now. He's dropped Izzy. And he's only 3 seconds behind Purcell.
There's Izzy right there. He's way off that pace. He was solidly in second, and now he's back in third and losing ground.
Yeah, he's dropped 5 seconds off the back of Metcalf.
Austin Stroopjeff has been rebounding up through the field, and there he is. Here comes number 981. Went back to number 981. His amateur number felt like it was better for him. He had better momentum with it. Likes the aura that comes with it.
Well, he won a Supercross Lights main event here last year, his one and only so far in his career with number 51, so I don't know why he'd switch it up, but hey, like you say, us Supercross riders, we're mental,
really
right?
Really mental bunch of racers, yeah.
He's falling back just a little bit right now. He's about 10 or 11 seconds off the lead, so he's pretty much stabilized into 4th place here. Not what he was hoping for, I'm sure.
But the way Izzy's riding, he might be able to catch him, Jeff. And if he can get a podium, that'd be pretty good salvage out of this first round of racing. Now, there's Blake Wharton, and we all talked about what we expected out of Blake Wharton coming in to this season. Showed a lot of promise in his amateur career, debuted as a pro at the tail end of the outdoor season this last summer. Blake Wharton showing he can ride some Supercross as well.
Whoa! Yeah, well, he was a bit nervous. We talked to some people around him, and we're riding in front of 60,000 people inside of a major mistakes here with only a little less than 3 laps to go, and that's really going to allow Will Hahn and Davalos.
Yeah, they're coming hard, too. They are coming really hard. Here's Hahn after him.
Well, let's see if the nerves here from the rookie, the nerves get the best of him and he drops any more position. Still, pretty good start to the season for the rookie.
Remember, no rider out of Texas has won a lights race, and Hahn, maybe the best shot at it. Looks like he might come up a little short, but he might be able to get a top 5 here tonight.
He's got a long way to go with about 2.5 laps. Will Hahn sitting back in 6th. That's number 50 rider there on the orange KTM. Oh, and Wharton makes another mistake.
And that's going to allow Hahn to get even closer. He can smell it. He comes after him, and then he bobbles in the corner. And that was his shot at him. Now he's going to have the rebound to come back after him.
And this is a tight battle because Will Hahn really applying the pressure. They're starting to work their way through some lap riders. We talked so much earlier about Matt Lemoyne, 41. He's on the Yamaha at the top of your screen, but he's actually a lap down. He's only in 19th.
2 laps remaining here at Reliance Stadium. Hahn on that Muscle Milk MDK KTM. Number 50, the orange bike, trying to reel in Blake Wharton. Wharton trying to put the Geico Power Sports Honda into a top 5 in his debut in Supercross.
You can see Wharton really switched up his line that time. That right side, the rider's right side. Oh, he makes another mistake here. That's going to allow Will Hahn to close up. I was going to say the right side through the whoops is not working for Wharton at all.
Well, he's going to have a lot to think about between now and the next race, isn't he?
Oh, there's another little mistake out of the turn. He's holding tough, but I'm telling you, Will Hahn is on the gas, really pressuring him with one to go.
1 lap remaining. Can Wharton hang on for a top 5 in his debut?
Wharton all over the place here in these last couple laps. Hahn to the inside.
That might be it. No, can't get the drive out of the corner. In fact, he loses a lot of ground, which is going to be a huge help to Wharton, but there's a slower rider in front of him.
And here's Wharton's problem area on the track. Through the whoops. This is where he's made a couple of mistakes. Gets through clean.
Better line this time.
Very good, yep.
This is up front, checkered flag. Christophe Purcell wins and is welcome back to Supercross Lights competition here in the States. Metcalf will take second. Izzy making his way to the line for third. Wharton trying to beat Hahn to the line. Stroop will take fourth. Fifth will go to Brett, or I should say to Blake Wharton. There you see Christophe Purcell. How happy can Mitch Payton be? He's got a great group running in the West, and now he's got a first win in the points lead in the East.
Gave them the opportunity to come back to Pro Circuit. He's made the best of it.
Pro Circuit Kawasaki guys on the top step of the podium. We'll talk to Christophe Purcell after this. Back inside Reliance Stadium. guys just saw a great opening round for the East Coast region of the Supercross Lights Championship. Let's take you and show you our progressive direct whole shot replay.
As they come through the very tight start right there across the stripe, Christophe Purcell, he means business.
You talked about making a statement. He did it here tonight. Here's the results in the first main for the East. First of 8. Austin Stroop ends up 4th. Had gone down, battled his way to 4th. Blake Wharton's got a lot to think about this week, Jeff, but in the end, it was a top 5.
Fantastic ride.
And we go to Aaron.
The first race nervousness is under his belt and out of the way. Nico, tonight you looked as though you were riding a little bit tight. A couple of mistakes cost you.
Yeah, you know, rode a little bit tight in first practice and had a pretty bad get off and just tried to recover from that. You know, I'm a little bit sore, but you know, it's not what I want. You know, I wanted the W, but came out and you know, I think it's good to salvage some points right now, and it's a long season, so I think it's a good start.
The road to Vegas, that's what we're on. It begins in Anaheim, it ends in Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, first weekend in May. Can't wait to get there. We sure hope you can join us for the event. And for the lights guys, well, that's the big shootout, and it's a lot of fun. The championship will have been crowned before we get there. And as you can see, Christophe Purcell will have a 3-point lead over Brett Metcalf headed to round 2, Aaron.
TV. Houston has always been kind to Brett Metcalf, and it did exactly that again tonight. Brett, first race of the season, it's over and done with. How pumped are you to be up on the podium right now?
It's awesome to get a second in the first round here tonight and start the championship off really strong. So happy with the way I rode. I just had a great time here in Houston. I always love coming here. And we got 3 weeks to think about it next to the next round. So we'll do a little testing, get a little stronger, and try and move up a spot.
All smiles for Brett Metcalf taking home a 2nd place.
That's right, Brett. The next 3 rounds are all West Coast races. Before we go back, the one guy we haven't talked to is our winner, Aaron.
Christophe Purcell has not raced in a year and a half, and he finds his way up to victory lane. Christophe, congratulations. What does this victory mean to you?
It means many things for me. I don't know how did I do on the track. I mean, it wasn't easy for me, and try with my team. My team, Kawasaki Prosecute, just follow me every time. Walk on the bike, walk on Kawasaki test track. Just said thanks to everybody who support me every time when I broke my back. Say thanks to every sponsor who follow me right now. And I mean, I don't know what can I say. I don't have any word. What can I say after this win?
Strength and determination is what pulled him through. Congratulations on a sweet success.
Jeff, he's got 3 weeks now before he has to come back to Atlanta.
Well, and you got a feeling that he's going to win some more, so he's going to have to start thinking of some victory speeches on the podium in English, you know.
Well, we also saw Metcalf with a pretty good performance, and Izzy, I think we got a good championship fight on our hands.
Definitely, and Stroop's going to walk away from this one a little bit disappointed, so look for some good things out of him.
We're back to the West Coast race. You can see the guys battling it out at AT&T Park in San Francisco coming up here on Speed. Of course, the official home of the Supercross Lights Championships. Well, for Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Reliance Stadium here in Houston, Texas. Congratulations on a great welcome back to the States win, Christophe Purcell.